you've probably all seen in the media recently that the Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman has finally published its report on the communication of state pension age changes to 50s born women. It's a 100-page report, so we'll not go into that. Essentially what happened is DWP were found guilty of maladministration in notifying these women. But way back as far as 2006, we knew that notification wasn't understanding. So, you know, the women had no idea that their state pension age was going to be changed to 65 and then further changed after the 2011 Act to 66. So we started a campaign in 2000, well, WASPI, you know the background for WASPI. There was a crowd of women got together in a tabletop campaign about 2014, and we started to raise awareness of this. We did more than the DWP ever did to raise awareness that people's state pension age was changing. And we started this letter writing campaign back then. Now, in the intervening years, we had our first demo was the day of Brexit, and then we've had a succession of prime ministers. We've had the pandemic, so it's been a long, hard struggle, the campaign, and we're still there, we're not going away. So essentially what they found now with the DWP maladministration, they've recommended, they've taken the unprecedented step of putting it straight back to Parliament to sort out, because they don't trust the DWP to do it. So that was published on the 25th of March, and then, I don't know if you saw in Parliament the debate, the 27th of March with Mel Stride, where he just effectively stood up there, and as I said to the girls, I usually do WASPI bingo if there's a debate in Parliament, you know, and you get a wee tick for every, you know, thing, every time they say that the parrot stuff. And I was going to, if it'd been a drinking game, my liver would be sitting in the window ledge back in the break, you know. So the two things that they kept saying was due consideration, careful consideration, and no undue delay. We've already got undue delay, as you know. We've lost 270,000 women affected by this who have died, and women die every 13 minutes. So anyway, thank goodness we decided to have an International Women's Day, a wee impromptu meeting down at the Mary Barber statue, because Mary Barber was splashed all over the media, so it was really nice to see. And the media finally sitting up and paying attention to this. And I'm gratified to see that there was a poll in the Daily Record where should the women get compensation or shouldn't the women get compensation, and it was 99% said that the women should get compensation. So what we're lobbying for now is that the current government don't kick this down the road until after the general election, and they put in place a process as soon as possible for this to be enacted and for people to get the compensation that they rightly deserve. So as part of that, last week, Glasgow City Council had a debate, and they've sent a letter down to Westminster. And I just want to notify the branch, it's hot off the presses, we're having a demonstration at Holyrood on the 18th of April. So it's starting at 12, I think, no, 11:30, before First Minister's questions. And then also we've set up a room inside Holyrood. So if anybody would like to go in and actually speak to their MSP, I'll give you the link later on that you can write. You have to apply for a pass for Holyrood, but everybody's more than welcome to come along to the demonstration and go ahead. And obviously, you know, in our campaign, we've been getting everybody to lobby their MSPs and their MPs. So the next day after that, luckily enough, we'd already put the motions in place for this before. Alan Brown, one of the Ayrshire MPs, had already put forward a motion in Westminster to discuss this, and it's suddenly become really important. It was going to be one of these early day motions that nobody would have showed up for. So now he's working really hard on it. So we've got this next thing in Westminster on the 19th of April. So essentially that's just a kind of update on what's happening. And it was just to bring it to the branch, and obviously we've got a motion put forward from here as well. So we're trying to influence the politicians in every state, at every level. But we really, really need union input into this as well. And we need to get the national executive to write to Westminster too. Because, I mean, the pensions were delayed salaries as well. These women, you know, it's a contributory benefit. So there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, like the trolls are there and they're saying, oh, these women don't deserve it, you know, the rich women, and it should be means tested. Should not be means tested. We all paid in and they should all pay out. And as I say, it's deferred salary in my eyes anyway. So that's just a quick update. If anybody's got any questions, let me know.
I'll take a couple of questions, but I want to, you know, Rosie's mentioned the lobby of the Scottish Parliament. I think the branch should support that. We should try and get a branch contingent there as well as our WASPI women, obviously with the branch banner. But I'll take, first of all, take Bobby and then I'll take David.
This is the question I wanted to ask was, obviously the responsibility lies with the Westminster government.
Yeah.
Okay, and hopefully they settle on it sooner rather than later. But have the Scottish government, they gave you any assurance that once the Westminster government has settled this situation, they're going to make a contribution as well?
Well, the thing is, as you rightly say, it's devolved down to, it's an undevolved issue, it's a reserved issue to Westminster. So part of this, we've had a cross-party group at Westminster for years, but it's a cudgel they use in Parliament. It's like when they stand up, they say, well, you know, they could do something about it at Holyrood, but Holyrood doesn't have the powers to institute an allowance for anybody in their old age. So we've been lobbying on that since we first started to see what the Scottish Government can do. And essentially we've had a few debates at Holyrood and they've all been very supportive, and we have written to the Westminster Government, and we've actually invited the DWP ministers on numerous occasions to come and speak to us, and they've declined.
Okay. David, is there anybody else? No, I'll take David as the last speaker then.
My comrade, my fellow supporter of Scottish independence, just stole my thunder a wee bit. No,
Sorry about that, David.
yeah, that's all right. No, we accept, you know, pensions are a reserve matter, and you know, as I was saying there, you know, is the Scottish Government actively supporting the WASPI campaign?
Yes, they've been actively supporting. We've had a few debates where it's been supported. Yeah.
So there's a majority in the Scottish Parliament that is supporting the WASPI campaign.
Yeah, we've always had a majority. Obviously, we're not getting any support from the
Tories.
you know, the Tories.
Yeah,
so don't be sorry, the mind.
Okay. I think it's important, okay, you know, we get the support of the MSPs, but we need the support politically, you know, from the other parties, particularly
The Labour Party, yeah.
So we really got to lobby them, because you know, we've got a 99% chance of winning the next election, you know, so let's take the pressure on them.
Interestingly, the iPaper phoned me yesterday, and we need to get a response from Labour. We need to get a response soon on what their policy is, because if you remember back in the 2019 election, I was actually actively involved in the group. We negotiated with John McDonnell.
Yeah.
And we had a compensation package on the table, which was completely weaponised by the press.
Yeah.
And you know, and everybody thinks that we're on the Sun Life advert and living in big houses and cutting our roses and all that, you know. So anyway, it was a very fair thing, because we even had a government actuary there, and it was affordable. But this time, the climate's a bit different. We need to get Labour, Keir Starmer, at the Scottish Labour Party conference, I think it was 2 years ago, actually held up our statement of support. So you know, we're keeping the pressure on cross-party.
I think he's put that one in the bin along with the rest of his
We've still got the photos, they're cutting around.
I'll wait, the last speaker, Kate, because we need to move on.
It's interesting because Anne Stanwart has been very quiet with regards to the WASPI campaign, whereas prior, you know, he fully supported it, he even said you should get full compensation. So I think it's important that you do get that stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, Anna has been in touch with me. Well, I've been in touch with his office as well, and we're hoping to get a meeting set up soon. But as I say, with this MSP meeting, that's going to be an absolutely brilliant opportunity to get the cross-party MSPs there next week, or the 18th, whenever it is.
Okay, I'd like to thank Rosie for that, and I'm sure we'll support the campaign as we do. I want